Hello guys, welcome back to the channel for another massive breakdown of our favorite magical martial arts journey. If you watched our analysis of the previous parts, you know we left off on an intense cliffhanger inside the royal castle garden. Just as Arthur caught a sharp sting projectile out of the air, the legendary former king, Elder Virion Iralith, launched a surprise attack and tossed a wooden practice sword straight at him to test his true strength. This part hits every perfect beat, from an insane martial arts duel between a 4-year-old and a legendary war hero to major game-changing magic lore. We get the truth behind Arthur's painful mana core, a hilarious wake-up call, Elder Virion flexing his authority, and finally, a mysterious diviner giving Arthur his first real chance to contact his family after all this time. The narration on this channel may feel a little odd at times, but trust me, you're going to love this manhwa. If you're new here, watch from part 1 for the best understanding. Let's get started. The second Arthur catches the wooden sword, he doesn't hesitate for even a single second. He immediately lunges forward, striking straight at Elder Virion. Most 4-year-olds would probably run away from the former king. Arthur's first thought? Yeah, let's fight him. Tesha's eyes widen in pure shock as she watches Art instantly go on the offensive against her grandfather. Virion casually sidesteps the sudden blow, smirking at the young boy, scary little brat. Arthur doesn't slow down, immediately swinging his sword in a fast, relentless barrage of strikes, but Elder Virion's speed is in a complete league of its own. He smoothly dodges every single attack without breaking a sweat. Spotting an opening, Virion thrusts his weapon toward Arthur's neck. Art manages to react just in time, placing his wooden blade between them to parry the strike. But because he's still in a 4-year-old body, the sheer force of Virion's strike heavy presses down on him. Before Art can adjust, Virion throws a fast second fist straight toward him. Reacting purely on survival instinct, Art dodges the punch and uses his elbow to push off, creating distance between them. Rushing forward once again, Arthur tries to close the gap, but Virion continues to dodge his every move effortlessly. Art internally pushes himself to the limit. Even with mana and minimizing my movements, I can't keep up with him. In a flash, Virion slips behind Arthur, moving so quickly that Art can barely track him. But instead of panicking, Art realizes this is his only chance. Springing backward into a rolling spin kick, Arthur manages to clip Elder Virion right on the forehead. The surprise impact knocks the legendary war hero off balance, sending him rolling across the floor. Tesha gasps in worry, running over toward Arthur just as her grandfather pushes himself up off the ground, laughing lightheartedly. It seems like I deserve this for being arrogant, but to think you'd actually be able to land a hit. Tesha pouts angrily at her grandfather, stepping over to pinch his arm. I think you've bullied Art enough, Grandpa. You should have gone easier on him. Virion rubs his arm, chuckling. I'm afraid that if I'd gone easier on him, he'd be the one bullying me. Arthur bows his head politely. I'm honored the esteemed Elder Virion thinks so highly of me. Virion raises an eyebrow, his expression suddenly turning dead serious. Honored, is it? Arthur gets instantly nervous internally. What's with this sudden change in mood? Virion looks Arthur dead in the eye and drops a massive proposal. If that's the case, become my disciple. Arthur came here looking for a way home and somehow unlocked a legendary master instead. Tesha just stands there with a completely confused look on her face. A short while later, while Tesha pulls out her personal first aid kit to patch up her grandfather's minor scratches, the discussion continues. Virion looks over at Art. So do you agree? Arthur makes a hilarious, skeptical face. You are actually serious, Virion smirks. Why wouldn't I be? Arthur lays out the harsh political reality. Well, first of all, I'm a human. Is it even allowed for humans to stay in this kingdom? Virion responds with absolute authority. No one will dare try and kick you out while you're under my tutelage. I know you realize that you're already better than other kids, hell, even some adults. But just know that I can teach you something even the most capable mages back in Sapin can't. Arthur hesitates, thinking of his parents. Even if you say that, I can't. Not when I don't even know how are my parents, who don't even know whether I'm dead or alive. Virion offers a reassuring solution. If there was a way for you to see how they're doing and communicate with them to let them know you're okay, is that not enough? Arthur's eyes light up. What do you mean? Before Art can finish his sentence, Virion holds up a hand to stop him, noticing that little Tesha is rubbing her eyes, completely exhausted. Calling over a castle maid, Virion instructs her to get Tesha washed up and put her into bed. Once they are alone, Virion's tone turns deeply serious. I realize I'm being rather impatient, but it has to do with what I sensed earlier during our little spar. You've been having bouts of searing pain where your mana core is, right? And those bouts are coming more frequently. Arthur stands there completely stunned. How do you know that? Virion sighs heavily. More than how I knew, it's the fact that you're not aware of the reason for your pains that's a problem. do you not know what a beast will is? Arthur's mind freezes as the term registers. Beast will. It was a term I had never heard before, but I immediately thought back to when Sylvia struck me at my core. Virion explains the core mechanics of world magic. I'm sure you know or have even encountered a few mana beasts already. But a beast powerful enough to be categorized as Class A or higher gains the ability to pass on their will or inherent ability down once, either to their offspring or a person they're bound to. I won't pry as to how you stumbled upon such a powerful beast will, but at this stage, the power residing within you is doing more harm than good. Arthur looks up in realization. The fact that you know all of this. Do you have a beast will too? Virion smiles faintly. Yes, I am what is called a beast tamer. A title that you can obtain once you've fully conquered the monstrous beast will inside of you. Looking at the restless power of the beast will inside Arthur's core, Virion gives him a stark warning. I know how important it is to go back to your family, but doing so right now comes at a grave risk. The power from your beast will is too potent for your immature body to handle. If not controlled soon, the power you've obtained will destroy your body from the inside out. The next morning, Arthur wakes up trapped in a suffocating nightmare. A dark, terrifying shadow figure sits directly on his chest, heavy pressing down on his lungs. Arthur internally struggles. What is this heavy sensation pressing down on my body? Is this monster the personification of my worries, my burdens, the expectations placed on me, haunting me even in my sleep? Suddenly, the scene shifts to reality. It turns out there is no shadow monster. It's just Tesha sitting directly on Arthur's chest, beaming with a bright smile. Good morning, Art, wakey wakey. Arthur makes a funny, defeated face, trying to turn away. Not now, shadow monster, 5 more minutes. Tesha pouts indignantly. Who are you calling a monster? Looking closely at Arthur's messy bedhead, Tesha giggles. Your hair looks funny. Arthur retorts instantly. You're one to talk, Mini Medusa. Tesha bounces with excitement. Hey, is it true you're going to stay here? Grandpa told me this morning that you are. Arthur keeps it cautious. Maybe, we'll know for sure after the trip with Elder Virion, Princess. Annoyed by the formal title, Tesha pinches Arthur's cheek with a pout. Not Princess, call me Tess. I'm going to get angry if you keep doing that. Arthur surrenders. Okay, now let me shower and get ready. Unless you want to watch, I suggest you leave the room, Tess. Tesha makes a disgusted, grossed-out face. How perverted, Grandpa was right. Arthur yells as she runs out. Stop using words you barely know. Stepping out into the castle hallway, Arthur overhears a tense debate between King Alduin, Queen Muriel, and Elder Virion. King Alduin pleads desperately. Father, please, you know it's not appropriate for a human to be residing within this kingdom. Queen Muriel agrees. Alduin is right, Elder Virion. I'll always be grateful to the boy for saving Tesha, but allowing a human to stay here goes against all traditions. Elder Virion waves off their concerns with casual authority. I've taken a liking to the brat. There's no need to say more. Besides, your daughter seems to approve of my decision as well. Tesha nods in total approval and determination right beside her grandfather. King Alduin stammers, Father, I ask that you reconsider. Virion shuts down the discussion instantly with an overwhelming aura. Enough, he will be under my direct guidance. Make sure everyone in the kingdom knows that. Watching from around the corner, Arthur smiles to himself, thinking, looks like the elder really can be trusted. Noticing Arthur standing in the corridor, Virion calls out, You're late, brat, we should hurry. As they begin their journey out into the rural countryside, Arthur asks casually, So how much longer do we have left to go, Gramps? Virion chuckles, Gramps, well, aren't you awfully comfortable with me now? Arthur smirks back, well, we'll have to see how today goes with your mysterious friend. Virion looks over at Tesha, who has already fallen fast asleep on the journey, and his voice softens. She woke up so early today, bugging me about you. Being the only princess of this kingdom caused her to grow up in a lonely environment. She's been hurt too many times by both adults and even children pretending to be her friend. Eventually, she grew cold and distant, building a wall constantly around herself. In the short time that I've seen her with you, she has shown me more smiles and laughs than she has in the last few years. For that, thank you. Arthur stands there completely stunned, taking in the deep emotional weight of Tesha's past. Arriving at a secluded rustic cottage in a rural area, Tesha wakes up, rubbing her eyes. Are we here? Arthur looks at the humble house, wondering internally, I wonder who this mysterious friend is to make the former king come all the way to this rural area. Without knocking, Virion kicks the front door wide open, shouting, We're here, you old witch, come out. An elderly woman steps out from the shadows, yelling back in anger, My ears still work perfectly, you grouch. Virion introduces her. Arthur, this is Rinia Darkasson, an old friend and a very special deviant that can help you. Arthur bows respectfully, A pleasure to meet you, Elder Rinia. Rinia says to Virion, well, we haven't got all day now. Stop standing outside and come in. Entering the house, Arthur processes the revelation internally. Being a deviant means she's similar to my mother, whose magic doesn't fall into the categories of the 4 basic elements. I wonder how she'll be able to help. Turning to Elder Rinia, Arthur speaks up. My apologies for sounding impatient, but Gramps said your magic can help me reach my parents. Rinia smirks at Virion. Gramps, I see you have a soft spot for the boy Virion. Now she says to Arthur, boy, I am what is called a diviner. Magic of this nature varies from mage to mage, but I'm quite capable. This means that there's very little someone can hide from me if I so choose to pry. For example, I know that you're special. So special, in fact, that there are parts of your life that even I can't see, but these eyes have seen pieces of both your past and future. Arthur is visibly shaken by her insight, but Rinia gently shifts focus. But you're not here for my clairvoyant abilities. You're here to see your parents and to let them know you're alive, right? Arthur nods intently. Right. Rinia points toward a bowl on the table. Then lean forward and keep your eyes on the basin of water. Focus on the image of your parents as clearly and detailed as possible. Once you're able to see them in the water, you'll be able to speak to them. Leaning over the basin, Arthur closes his eyes, visualizing his parents with vivid clarity. He pictures his mother with her glowing auburn hair and sun-kissed complexion radiating gentle warmth, her thin brows always knitted together, worrying about him. Then he pictures his father, with his strong blue gaze and goofy smile that brightens even the dullest days. His silly quips at home severely at odds with his charisma as a leader. Arthur prays internally, please be alive. Slowly opening his eyes, Arthur looks into the basin, and the moment he sees what's waiting for him, his entire expression changes. What an absolute masterclass of a breakdown. From Arthur landing a clean spin kick on a former elf king to learning about beast tamers, Tesh's hilarious wake-up call, and Elder Rinia's mysterious diviner magic, this part delivered on every single front. What did Arthur see in the basin of water? Are his parents safe back in Sapin, and how will they react to hearing his voice after all this time? Let me know all your thoughts and theories down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the next part. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.